Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, I tap maple syrup in Mill Creek Park with John Slanina. It is a fascinating process. I also make Johnny cake with ham and green onion. But first, Pierogi Palooza at Holy Trinity. The parishioners at Holy Trinity Ukrainian Catholic Church have been making and selling their pierogi for 50 years. It is their largest fundraiser. 4 days a week, dedicated volunteers peel, cook, mash, and roll potatoes, make the dough, roll and cut it, then pinch and cook endless amounts. Their devotion to their church exemplifies the will of the people of the Ukraine in their fight against Russia. So, Bill, are you a lifelong member here at
Yes, I
Holy
am.
Trinity?
I'm a councilman at Holy Trinity.
Oh, you're a councilman?
Yes.
So your family belonged here and now you belong here?
Both my parents are from Ukraine, and they come over to this country, and I go to this church and St. Anne's also.
And what have you learned? It looks like you're on dough duty.
I learned the one good thing about doing the dough is I use the expression, the right hand knows what the left hand's doing.
Okay.
Which means that you work with people here, these gentlemen here, that when you're doing something and they see you struggling, they know what's...
They immediately step in.
Immediately, we don't even have to talk, and I can't hear anyway. So.
How long have you been volunteering down here? Because they need the help.
Yeah, I know. They guilted me into it, actually, so about 3 years.
And what is your day job?
I'm retired.
Oh, man. What did you do?
I worked at the post office.
You did?
Yeah, so I've been retired about 8 years now.
And
Must
what
be
was
6,000.
the learning curve on the dough when you started here?
Well, I don't do the dough. I don't make the dough, so I don't know what they do. I just come over here and cut the circles and roll them out.
You ever pinch?
I pinch. Yeah, when we're done here, I'll go, and I'm not the best pincher, but as long as you don't care what they look like, I'm willing to pinch.
As long as they taste good. Let's see, Mary. I'm going to ask you for proper technique here. I'm going to take a ball, little potato ball.
Yes, and you just fold it over like that. I kind of smash down a little bit.
Okay.
And then you just pinch. I made 100 of these on Monday at home.
Okay, so who is the fastest stuffer here? You guys ever time it? On your mark, get set, go. Okay.
Finished. Whoop. We go
Mary,
we go around twice.
oh,
yeah, it don't take long.
Mary. That's right.
Casey, do you make these at home?
No, I do not, although I should try. Well, you remember Fast Freddy. He is on the cooking duty. We are about to cook. Now that we've pinched 5 dozen pierogi, right?
No, there's what, there's
250.
250 pierogies, so divide that by 12, and that's what you get per batch. All right, now the important thing is here, you want to stir these, and you got to stir them from the outside, and you want to make sure you don't break them, but you don't want them sticking to the bottom, but you got to be very careful here.
Because right now they're all in that strainer.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
so we got to do this real easy. Sometimes it's easy just to poke them or stab them, then you end up with broken ones. But the thing is, you want to go from the outside and just keep them moving. And once the water starts boiling, it'll keep them moving too.
How long do you have to boil them?
You know what? This is a feel, sight thing.
Okay.
You know they're done when you look at them. And then though, if they start getting too wide, you cooked them too long. That's one way.
What do you mean too wide? Too puffy?
No, they'll get real long.
Oh.
You want to kind of keep them pretty much to their regular size. If
So
you,
like
you know,
a 3-inch. I would say an average.
Yeah.
3
So I
inches.
mean, if they start cooking too long, then they start getting wide and long. As soon as that covers that, then just pour that water in there, and then it'll go. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
There you go. That's good.
Oh, saving it.
Fred calls me over when he's done cooking.
Okay. What would you be called? The cooler? Or the chiller?
The chiller.
You're the chiller.
The chiller.
Okay. He's chilling.
chiller.
Okay. All right.
So he's done cooking. He calls me over. I shake the water off, drop it in here. Okay, now those are iced.
So you also have a little retail here.
Correct.
So you're in charge of gathering for the retail locations.
Well, it's just packing in general. So we'll pack for the retail stores. We'll do that first, and then we'll pack for the workers out there. They get a little discount when they come out here and work on theirs.
And seasonally, when is the active pierogi time where you guys are making them?
Well, we normally start, we cut this short this year, John?
In total amount?
No, in the season, when it started and when it ends.
We've knocked a week or two off the beginning, and now we're ending on May 25th as opposed to going into June.
Ukraine strong. I absolutely love those nails. We've seen a lot of the Ukrainian church members on the news talking about, Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. What is your diocese doing, to send aid overseas?
Well, one of the things that, we caution everybody about is, all the scams, and anytime, unfortunately, when there's hardship, there's scams coming up. What we publish is this right here. We go through the diocese in Philadelphia, so if anybody would like to donate, this is a safe one that we're using here in our church.
Slava Ukraina, Heroyam Slava. And what we're talking about is glory to Ukraine and glory to the heroes. So, especially at this time with Ukraine in such turmoil, with Putin, it just breaks my heart because we are both we were born in Germany after the Second World War. And my parents are from the western part of Ukraine. So it's very strong in us.
You girls have the radio show, and you have a large listenership, and I'm just wondering, how the people feel when they listen to the music, of the Ukraine and under these circumstances.
I try to play some music that is geared to a little background, like tell stories. This is my story, my history. Sometimes when I do play it, I kind of get teary-eyed and I have to hold it back. But, it is what it is. And, we have to pray. We pray for Ukraine. We pray for the soldiers getting too much. We need to help them. We need to help the people who are in dire need. It's hard. It's hard to talk about it. But, we just pray. We have our church. We're very dedicated, for sure.
We'll be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Family-owned Mayflower Woolham Insurance Group is your full-service independent agency. Our family works with a variety of insurance companies, so you have the best choices for your insurance needs. Let us find the right product at the right price. Personal lines, business, farm, commercial insurance, life insurance. Trust locally owned Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important.
We'll take care of the details.
Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
I'm here with John Sladina, and he is the president of the Rocky Ridge Neighborhood Association, and he's also one of the big volunteers here that makes maple syrup right here at Rocky Ridge. John, we have been going back and forth, and getting the maple syrup out of the trees is really weather dependent, isn't it?
I have a whole appreciation for what farmers go through. I mean, we joke that we're urban farmers. We live right on the streets across from the park. All of us are volunteers, and there's a very unique window in this entire world where you can make maple syrup.
You know, it always around February, right, is when you start looking for those thaws. Is that correct?
That's right. For the sap to come out of the tree, you need above freezing days and below freezing nights. And that cycle is what makes the pressure in the tree that the sap comes out. Too cold, everything's frozen. Too warm, nothing comes out.
Where did you learn all these nuances?
It was the University of YouTube and the Michael Kusalabari Library on Mahoning Avenue. In 1951, most of these trees were planted, about 125 trees. It's named after Charles Snelling Robinson. Now, he was on the park board at the time. Interesting thing about Charles Snelling Robinson, his house was where the Ford Nature Center is today. That family sold it to Judge Ford.
Okay.
So that's Snelling Robinson's house. He was off the park board. They planted this maple grove and named it in his honor. This is a working maple grove. So at the time, went to the park leadership and said, have an idea. Here's literally an untapped resource. For 60 years at that point, if we try to make maple syrup, whatever we sell, we'll give the park half, and the other half our nonprofit will take and we'll give it to charity. You want to be 6 inches away from a previous drill point.
Okay, looks like this was one.
Correct. So if we want to put one, say right here, that looks like a good spot, and we're gonna go about 2 inches in. Now you're gonna go straight perpendicular into it, and keep on pushing until we hit the end of that tape. That's 2 inches in.
It's going in. Okay, now I go to reverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
oh, look, Bill, there is already sap. See?
Then perfect.
How do I screw this in a little bit?
Yeah, you don't have to screw it. Just you place it in. No need to screw.
Is that sticking out enough?
Yep, perfect. And then you attach your sap sack.
Wow, this is so much easier.
And look, it's dropping already. Look, you can see it.
Told ya, this was gonna be a good one.
We might have a record. And it will slowly fill up. Now you can see it.
That is awesome.
Ohio was like the Silicon Valley of maple syrup innovations in the 1860s. This tool that we use is called an evaporator, and there's some people that actually patented this over 100 years ago. From Ohio, yep. And there's actually a company, I need to do research on it, They made maple syrup equipment in Warren.
Really?
Yep, and after they patented their design of the evaporator, I believe it was the Grimm family, the Grimm brothers, he went over to Vermont.
When it needs more, so as you're boiling it away and it realizes that it needs more sap, this automatically goes up and down.
Once this temperature reading reaches 7 over, that's 7 over boiling water, we know that it's syrup. So we open this valve over here, and that's actually...
No way! I am here watching. This is syrup.
Yep, this is it right now.
That amber gold. Yeah.
That's syrup right there. So this is dense hydrometer. Third filter that we do during this process here.
One of the things I was showing earlier is that the back flue pan is doing all that work. Every chamber here gets a little bit closer to syrup, a little bit, you can even see how the bubbles change.
I see, and then you can see how the color changes.
Right, so it gets a little bit more concentrated in every single one.
And what is in there?
Well, this is a very secret thing, but we're on the west side. This is lunch, Casey. This is,
okay.
These are our pierogi.
Okay.
That we're boiling. Whoops. And we won't mix it in. It won't get in.
Nick.
But that's our lunch.
Now this looks like a fine cordial, but actually this is not cognac or anything like that. This is prepared right here in Mill Creek Park. And John, I think this is gorgeous. Now, what notes am I looking for?
We'll be looking for some smoky notes. Again, the terroir of the west side. This was just made 10 minutes ago.
There is some smoke. It is delicious. It is, and it's warm. I mean, you feel like you just want to dunk something in it.
From the sales of the syrup, we sponsor a baseball team at Arco Field Mill Creek Junior Baseball League. So
I used to play there on the Ponytail League.
Right. So there is a team there now, the Rocky Ridge Runners.
Okay.
Fully funded from this maple syrup.
Now, where can I purchase this amber gold?
That's a good question. Right now, during the pandemic, it's not at the shop at Fellows, Riverside Gardens, where it normally is, but now it's at Krakus Polish Deli and Bakery on Market Street. They're very kind to house it for us. We have a Facebook, which is Rocky Ridge Neighbors.
Okay.
And we'll have updates there as well when the season is coming. But we're in the middle of the season, coming towards the end part of it, all volunteer, and I'm so glad you enjoyed the product.
Oh my God, it's delicious. This is it's a good vintage for Rocky Ridge maple. It's delicious. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I am here with Rude the Dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. What is happening?
Nothing. You know, we just finished off last year strong with all of our parties in the banquet room. So we're starting already to book parties this spring in the banquet room also. We got a couple things we're working on for outside in the parking lot, a couple different big events that we'd like to put on this year for everybody. So we're starting the year out strong and starting to get ready.
Oh, looking forward to spring. And don't forget, you're looking for those local beers, they are right here on tap at the Magic Tree. And I gotta tell you, this Nitro Brew coffee is made right here.
Yeah, we make this in-house with our roasted beans from the Youngstown Coffee Company. So we support local coffee, beer, and food.
Oh man, always something happening right here. Go to their website, magictreepubandeatery.com, and find out more.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
My basement was dreadful. Cracked concrete, chipped tiles, it was my dumping ground. Carpet, vinyl, wood don't last. Now I have Pebblestone, the best basement floor covering. It has transformed my basement and expanded my family's living space. It's easy to clean, withstands flooding, and will never need replaced. You will love your basement. Pebblestone, the best flooring system.
Call today to save 60% off your new Pebblestone floor for a limited time only.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, this recipe is going to be a keeper for you. It is Johnny cake with ham and green onion. And Johnny cake is an old Southern dish made with corn muffin mix, and with the ham and the onion, I add a little cayenne. This bakes a really nice 8x8 dish, which is perfect for breakfast. And whenever you have ham, Easter, Christmas, any time of year, there's always leftover, and you're never sure what to do with it. So this dish is perfect. And then you top it off with pure maple syrup, Mill Creek maple. It is an elegant dish, and it's so easy to make. So let's get cooking. We'll go over the ingredient list for Johnny cake. For this recipe, you'll need 1 8.5-ounce box of corn muffin mix, 3/4 cup buttermilk, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 egg beaten, 1 cup of chopped ham, 4 green onions, white and green parts chopped fine, and pure maple syrup for serving. So I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and I prepared an 8x8 baking dish with butter. All right, and now we're just going to assemble the Johnny cake. You're not going to believe how easy this is. 1 box, Jiffy's available everywhere, of their corn muffin mix, and then add your cayenne pepper. Now, if you do not like the heat, you can let this out, but I find that the cornbread mix really is sweet. And with the maple syrup, you just want to counter that a little bit, and just a little bit of cayenne does the trick. So just whisk that together to make sure it's evenly distributed. Add the egg, and I have this egg at room temperature. It helps with the baking. And then the buttermilk. All right, 3/4 cup. The ham. And 4 green onions, chopped fine with the green part included. And then you just mix this together by hand. You don't need the beater. You don't need the immersion blender. And you just mix it all together. Until it's combined. For about 2 or 3 minutes, let this rest, because it'll help with the rise of your Johnny cake. So it's been about 3 minutes. That's all. Just let it rest a little bit. And I mixed it one more time. And now I am just going to pour it into the prepared dish. Okay, and then we'll put this in the oven for about 20 minutes. and it'll be nice and gold around the edges. And if yours isn't, just put it a couple minutes more. You can also use this batter to make pancakes. Heat up the griddle, 1/8 of a cup, 2 minutes each side, and you'll have little Johnny cakes. But I think the presentation in the pan is much nicer. This is amazing. I love it. All the flavors are there. The onion and the ham, a little bit of kick with the cayenne, the sweetness of the cornbread, and of course, pure maple syrup right from Mill Creek Park. Just go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for the recipe. It's called Johnny Cake with ham and with green onion. And you know what really cuts through all these wonderful flavors? I'm having a grapefruit-based mimosa. It is delicious. It just all works so well together. So this is perfect for your next batch of leftover ham. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.